We got the new 2025 Kia Carnival Hybrid, and we're putting it against the old but true refreshed 2025 Honda Odyssey. Which of these sliding door family haulers is going to be the best option for you? Today, we're going to try to nail that down. We got Cassie, Mama Bear, behind the camera. She's also mic'd up, so she's gonna be sharing her impressions. This has been our long-term loaner since October, so we know this vehicle really well, the Honda Odyssey. And this we just got in this week for just a 1 week review. Been shuffling the kids around, trying to get the best fuel economy that I can with this hybrid. So we're going to talk about these two vans today. Let's start with the powertrains because, well, Honda just comes with one. All right, underneath the hood of the Honda Odyssey is something that's been under the hood of an Odyssey as far as I can remember is a V6. Now this has a 3.5 liter V6. This does have VTEC, so if you want to have some racy fun out there, it likes to be revved. It's also connected to a 10-speed auto. We get about 18, 19 miles per gallon in town and about 26 miles per gallon on the highway. All right, silky smooth. We'll talk more about this when we start driving. Now you can get a 3.5 liter V6 on this vehicle as well. That's the standard powertrain. All right, but this is new for the Kia Carnival to fight not only the Odyssey, but this is more of a direct competitor to maybe something like the Sienna hybrid from Toyota. All right, so this is a 1.6 liter turbo mated to a single electric motor. That motor is worth about 74 horsepower, which then goes through a 6-speed automatic. It's front wheel drive only like the Odyssey, but unlike the Sienna, which can come in all-wheel drive, this hybrid can only be front wheel drive. Now, it's rated really high with the fuel economy. We're gonna talk about what we're getting in today's driving impressions, but mid 30s is probably where most people are gonna get, which is really, really impressive compared to, it's roughly double the city fuel economy of the Odyssey. Is it as simple as that? No, there's trade-offs for each vehicle, so just don't write it off to fuel economy unless you're driving like 20,000 miles a year or something. You should be considering both of these vans for different reasons. All right, so notice over there I had to hold up the hood, so you had to have a hood stick. This is more luxury in a sense with having double shocks here. All right, so now that we got the powertrains out of the way, let's talk about the front end of both. Well, the Odyssey, even though it's refreshed, no one's gonna know. Like, it looks exactly the same as it has for the past 8 years or whatever this generation's been out. This is new. This is a little bit revised. The grill's a little bit revised, but honestly, it's hard to tell between this and a 2024 model, even though this is refreshed. Now, as we come to this front end, this looks a lot like the Kia stablemates, especially the Sorento. Really wide front fascia, and then you have these enormous turn signals. That whole thing, I'll turn it on for you guys. This whole LED turn signal blinks. It's really, really cool. And so I feel like that's a good safety feature for people to see you oncoming. And then we have all these headlights, so 3 are your low beams, and I believe the bottom one is your high beam, if I remember correctly, but tons of lighting. You even have fog lights down here. So the lighting here is gonna be very impressive. We have parking sensors all over each of them, but you might see something here that the Odyssey doesn't come with, which is a front camera. This has a 360 camera. The Sienna comes with that, maybe the Chrysler product as well, the Pacifica. The Odyssey does not come with a 360 camera, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. All right, so we're gonna slink between these two vans right here to talk about some of the features on the side. All right, I wanna say these are 19s, let me double check. Yes, 19-inch wheels here. These are new wheels for the 25, they've been redesigned. I wanna say these are 19s as well. Yes, 19-inch wheels with these nice glossy black wheels. I think I like the black ones better. Cassie, do you have a preference?
Yeah, the black ones look nicer.
Oh, and I forgot to ask you about the front end. Do you like the more macho front end here on the Carnival that looks more like an SUV? Or do you like the more swept, more familiar face?
I like the familiar.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the classic minivan look.
What we've talked about this in the past, the Odyssey is not trying to pretend like it's anything other than a Honda Odyssey minivan.
Yes, it's a minivan. Whereas this guy,
this is trying everything it can to put on some sort of mask that it's no longer a minivan.
Right, like it looks like an SUV.
They try to make it look like an SUV, and in some ways I feel like they've succeeded. But let's keep moving back. We have smart key access on all 4 doors on both of these vehicles, sliding both of them. Just pull and go. Abe is inside of here. He's still awake. He hasn't fallen asleep, but I'm happy that he's just relaxing.
Hi.
In the Kia right now. And then we'll get into one of the benefits though of that door is that it's just one button. This door, there's a button for open and close, so it's just more convoluted. And watch your step here. All right, any minivan is going to be, if we go to the design here, I mean, both of them look pretty minivanish, but this looks way cooler from the back. That's just my opinion. We have the old lobster claw design here. It's a little bit played out on the Odyssey, but here, real wide looking, beautiful turn signal. And the windshield wiper, yes, there is one. It's tucked underneath. It's hidden. All right, and we also have 2 cameras back here. You have, I think you have one here and then one here. Yes, this is for your digital rearview mirror. And I think this is for your backup camera. Digital rearview mirror is something you can't get on the Odyssey, for example. But let's look at the cargo real quick. Of both of them, they're minivans. They're both enormous. All right, you can put so much stuff into both of these things. I don't think one or the other is going to have a major advantage in terms of storage capacity. So I'll just go ahead and say that. We also have a 12-volt power adapter there on the Honda. These seats in the back both fold down in both vehicles really easy, really efficiently. So I wouldn't say one is better than the other. This one feels more similar to the Toyota Sienna minivan. We also have a power back here, a traditional 120 volt or 115 volt, 100 watts. So this has the slight advantage when it comes to maybe tailgating. And I forgot to mention both of these minivans, as this lady's coming. Both these minivans cost over $50,000 with the Elite and I think the SX Prestige. I might butcher that, but that is the top trim on both of these that we are looking at. All right, so let's go ahead and get in the Odyssey first, and we're gonna talk about livability, all right? In the back seat, well, this Elite has this leather that is white, and yes, it's dirty. We live in this thing, literally, as I pull out the veggie straws. This leather two-tone is exclusive here. We also have window shades in the back. Look how big those windows are. Lights here, but the vents are down here, which may be a pro or con. How's Abe doing? How's Abe?
Abe's crying.
Oh, he's crying? Okay, we got to hurry this up. All right. But vents back here, cup holders, 2 USB-Cs over there, 1 USB-C over here. It's real nice back too. We even have mat pockets. I didn't realize that. And they're both 8-seater minivans, and the center seat, which is not here, is removed, all right? And keep in mind, this magic sliding seat is a game changer. So I like pushing this all the way over so the kids, for 3 of the kids, we have 5 kids total, they can easily get into that 3rd row. All right, great leg room here. We're going to have vents right here, more USB-Cs, cup holders there, and then we have a DVD, well, no longer DVD, it's just a monitored HDMI pass-through, and then the Kia will have optional screens in the back, but the one we have equipped does not have them, which I'm okay with. All right, both of them have window shades, which is great, and here's that double button. I wish it was just one button for open, one button for close. All right, so one of the cool things before we even get in here, we have a sunroof for the back kids, for the 3rd row and the 2nd row. I better turn off that turn indicator. There it goes. All right, and you're gonna see vents right above, which is great. That's something in the Odyssey, they're right here on the A-pillar, but this is a great vent system for the kids. They're even above the kids in the back. Also in the back, I can't slide, I can remove this seat and they can walk through, but I can't slide it side to side like I can in the Honda. When I get back here though, I still have great headroom, good leg room. These seats can slide forward and back. Again, I could remove this and you're gonna have a lot, and this is my kids, sand out of their shoes anyways. Yeah, we have tons of cup holders back here. Window shades, the windows aren't quite as big, but it's nice that we have window shades back here for the rear passengers. USB-C here, USB-C here, so Honda has one more USB-C in the back, but remember, this vehicle has a 115 volt right behind this seat, so you could run an extension cord. Now, in this middle seat here, I'm running into some headroom issues, but I moved to the side and I'm no longer, right? And then I have this vent right here, which seems for an adult that's closer to my face, but maybe for a short kid, having the vent here on the Honda's superior, okay? But between the two, very accommodating back seats, and 3 across is the name of the game. All right. As we look up here, more extension cord access or plug-in access for your laptop, your devices. You also have USB-Cs on each side, more accessory power, more cup holders. Overall, very, very similar layout. And they both have a cabin watch, which we'll talk more about when we start driving. All right. So Abe, what do you think? Should we go ahead and start driving? Yeah, maybe. All right. Well, let's start driving. Let's drive the Kia first. Yeah, and then we'll get into the Honda next. All right, so you can see the cabin watch here. It's actually a pretty high definition camera. Cassie loves this, and I've even mapped it to the customizable star button here on the steering wheel. Cass, what are your thoughts on the interior?
Oh, I like the interior. Okay. It's a little futuristic, which I'm typically not into, but I think the colors are nice.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's an interesting wrapped screen. I haven't seen that before, but I don't know.
Like the two 12-inch screens here?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's nice and long, because I know you complain about how small screens can be, and
yeah,
it seems like a nice size.
Yep.
The inside's nice. It's very clean and minimalistic, which is nice.
And very techy, where you'll see in the Honda, it feels like in some ways, very, very old.
Yeah.
And as I come to the stop sign here, the brakes on this hybrid are very weird. I can't figure them out. Regardless of what type of regen braking, I can use the paddle shifters here to play with 4 different regens. I have it completely off. To me, that's the most predictable way to brake this vehicle. But I remember the first day we were driving this, you're like, why are you braking weird? I'm like, I don't have confidence in braking this.
Yeah.
I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah.
And it's really, really picky the last couple feet. Sometimes it feels like it slams on its brakes. And I think a part of that is, since this has a 6-speed automatic, you have the electric motor kind of downshifting with the transmission, and that can throw some unpredictability in the deceleration, and therefore also the braking prediction. All right, so I'm getting more used to it, but I know you're not on this loan agreement, so you haven't been driving it.
No.
But I typically don't have any problems stopping cars smoothly. All right, and this one, I feel every single stop, regardless if it's a long, slow stop or an aggressive, hard stop, it's always seemingly fighting me. Difficult to figure out where this vehicle is going to come to a stop.
It has been very gentle.
Yeah, and we hit a sewer cap there. Most of the time, the right. Like this guy's just stopping and taking pictures in the bike lane. Anyways, most of the time the ride quality here is very good, but sometimes when you hit broken pavement, it just gets kind of out of sorts. It's a bit juddery.
It's a bit like a truck, maybe? Like,
in some ways, maybe like a truck. It feels a little bit like a truck because this has such a long wheelbase. I feel like the wheelbase is longer here than even in the Odyssey. So it just feels really, really long and maybe truck-like, I guess. Yeah, I think you're right there.
oh.
Sometimes it's a bit stiff. Sometimes it's really smooth. It just depends on the surface. All right. So right now I'm on fully electric because I'm driving pretty slow here. And you do hear the engine from time to time, but you never really know when the engine's on. Especially if the music going, the sound system in here is great. And the steering is just strange in here as well. When you throw this into a turn, it just feels kind of like tippy, bargy, boaty. It's not a handling minivan. It's really meant for going straight on smooth surfaces. All right, we'll talk about how the Honda differs massively in that regard. All right. But I love the tech here. You can customize this screen really nicely, have different displays on how you want to see your information. I have the hybrid energy monitor here, which I really geek out over. This panel here, it's difficult because you have to press this button to toggle between radio, like volume knob and climate control. It's just too much of a hassle. So I just do all my radio controls here on the steering wheel. Luckily, if you press and hold the volume button, it goes really, really fast with jumping volume up and down. So I'm learning to live without a volume knob. It's not ideal, but it's also not a game or like a deal breaker. All right. Also, the AC in here for the driver's weird. I can never get it to like this vent to hit my face. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but it just, yeah, and you really have to crank the fan speed if you want to feel the air moving through here. I'd say it does a good job cooling the overall cabin down, but like the direct contact with the AC, I'm only getting it maybe with this vent over here. All right, we have wireless charger. We have a twist dial. Cass, what do you think of the ventilated seats in this?
I like it.
They're good?
Yeah, they're good. No complaints.
I think they're pretty good as well. You think you feel it on your back more, and I feel in my butt more. We also have memory seats in here like we do in the Honda. We have dual pane glass here. So this is a very, very quiet vehicle.
Yes.
Like the Honda.
Very customizable.
Yeah, it is. And this is, it has so many benefits over the Honda in terms of, I feel like modernity, is that a right word? Modernity. It just feels more up to date. There's so much more tech on here. Digital rearview mirror. I can watch the 360 camera at slower speeds, which is really nice for car line. And the parking sensors around here are more accurate. So nice. Like it'll pick up like proximity on the side of the vehicle too, which is really nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, USB seats here. Like the comfort of these seats is good. I feel like we could take a long road trip on here, no problem.
They do feel very comfy.
One note that we took note of earlier is that if you forget, like we just did, and you leave the sunshade open on the back sunroof, there's no way for you to open or close it up here.
There's no buttons.
There's no button to close that shade. So Abe is, if the sun's out, he can just kind of get roasted a little.
Sunny day, yeah.
Let's see, I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna go around the Infiniti here. But yeah, this is not a vehicle you want to hustle. If you like drive, if you're a sporty mom, you like hustling your vehicles around, this is absolutely not it. This is a leisure minivan. It really focuses on comfort, soft ride, and for the most part, they're like right there. There's a dip in the road, and I don't know how much it was the road's fault or the van's fault, but in the turns, this thing shows like maybe it's like a stretched platform. Maybe it wasn't really this platform designed to be that long.
Oh,
because
interesting.
it kind of has some weaknesses in the turns.
I would agree, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we haven't really driven this much on the highway, but I'll finish with fuel economy here. Since refueling, it's telling me I'm getting 37 to 38 miles per gallon.
I think this guy's...
I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know either.
Which, guys, for a family hauler, that's incredible.
It's amazing.
37 miles per gallon.
That's crazy. It's unfathomable.
Yeah.
Unfathomable?
So, Cass, it's still, I've put 112 miles on this since it was dropped off and refilled. And it still is telling me 495 miles of range. So this has over 600 miles of range.
That's amazing.
That's one of the things, it hurts us with V6 minivans is we have to fill them up weekly.
Yeah.
We hate buying gas. We hate stopping at the gas station. And this is like the Sienna. It's like you stop at the gas station half as often. It is absolutely incredible. And it's something that I feel like Honda has great hybrids. I just don't understand why Honda doesn't have a hybrid on the Odyssey. But kudos to Kia for adapting their hybrid that we see on, I guess, the Sorento. You see it on the Sportage, and they've beefed up the battery, beefed up the motor here for a bigger vehicle. So yeah, it's really, really good hybrid. It's just Kia needs to fix maybe the rigidity of this vehicle so it turns better.
Yeah.
And fix the weird braking of this.
Braking system.
Once they can fix those, this is going to be a real force to be reckoned with.
Yes.
But there's just no competition to the Sienna other than this hybrid. So I feel like people who put a ton of miles in their minivan are really going to see the gas savings here on this. And I would take this over the V6 counterpart to this Carnival. But let's go ahead. We're going to get back to the Odyssey, something that fits like an old glove to us.
Yeah.
And we're going to take that for a spin and drive them back to back.
Cool.
There's no reason Honda should not have a top-down camera in a refreshed Odyssey. So anyways, 37 plus miles per gallon here. The best I've seen is 40. On a morning drive where I didn't have to use AC much. And I think that's about it. There's driving modes, but I don't like the sport mode. So, all right, let's switch out Abe to the other van.
Switcheroo, Abers.
All right, so Cass has already got the cabin watch going on Abe. Actually, it seems like the position of the camera is a little bit better here, despite the camera quality not being quite as good. And I gotta get used to the brake feel because they couldn't be any different between the two vans.
Yeah.
Also, when you start up the Odyssey, what do you feel? Well, you feel the V6 come to life, which is kind of like a reassuring feeling if you guys like engines, all right? And the paddle shifters here, instead of playing with regen braking, they roll through gears on the 10-speed automatic. So let's throw this into the turn. Thanks, Ford. That was unnecessary. And it's just, it feels like a go-kart on rails compared to the Kia. Throwing this in, it just feels so composed.
I know.
And like, it's just like it has so much confidence. And the steering is very precise, where the steering is pretty like completely removed from the wheels, it feels like in the Kia. And like in the Kia, sometimes I'm just like floating over the lane because I can't really feel what the steering is doing. But yeah, like both, neither of these vans are really performance vehicles, but if you want to put your foot down a little bit here, buttery smooth.
Yeah.
And it just feels so good. It feels natural. Now I didn't accelerate like that in the Kia. I took a different route to show kind of like the Kia's strength in being smooth at steady states. All right, the engine will turn off and you're just coasting an electric in that car, and that's really nice too. But like this has a start-stop engine feature. It pretty much is never on, even though we don't disable it.
I think it's because the AC is cranked often.
100%.
Yeah.
We're always cranking the AC in here, and the vents are face level. In the Kia, the vents were honestly below like the middle of the steering wheel. They're like down here somewhere and pushed back. And so just the controls, and yes, I have physical buttons instead of that touch panel.
Yeah, I really enjoy.
Oh my gosh, I'm like stressed out in comparison in the Kia because like I got to fiddle with that touch panel. This is
something your hand can memorize, and like you don't have to look while it's driving.
No, you don't have to look as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still would prefer Honda's triple rotary knobs like they have in the Pilot, but like this is still light years better than that touch panel.
Yeah, I really like this car.
Yep. And
I'm gonna miss it.
We're gonna miss this car if we don't end up buying it. All right. So get into the brake pedal here. That's what a brake pedal should feel like. Very progressive. The more you push on it, the more response you get. And it's very linear. There's nothing weird going on, because sometimes in the Kia you press the brake pedal and then you're getting a certain amount of braking, and then it downshifts, the electric motor is real torquey, and then it adds more braking, and so it's very difficult, like I said, to predict the braking of the Kia Hybrid. It might be different for the V6, but I don't have the V6 on hand Carnival to compare to. This rolling through the gears, like the V6 is just so much smoother than the 4-cylinder. The trade-off is that half the time that 4-cylinder is off because it runs an electric too. So, and it's saying 18.4 miles per gallon, right?
I know.
So that's the thing.
Tough.
We love everything about this van.
Yeah.
In terms of how it drives, it's just that it would be nice to get 30 miles. That dog was going. That dog was taking. Anyways, 30 miles per gallon plus would be nice here. And it's just nowhere to be found, despite Honda having a huge volume of CR-V hybrids, Accord hybrids, Civic hybrids. They just have no hybrids for their large platform. It's just a big, enormous head-scratching decision. They used to have V6 hybrids in the Acura lineup. They scrapped those. The V6 here is still fantastic, but people just want better fuel economy and not have to go to the gas station.
Yeah.
Every week. We're at the gas station every single week.
I mean, we need to get gas soon.
Yeah, we're already down to a third tank here.
Oh man.
One of the benefits of the Kia and the Sienna and probably the Pacifica, they have centrally located door controls.
Yes.
On the Honda, it drives us crazy that to open and close the sliding doors,
Yes.
and even the rear hatch, it's exclusive over here only to the driver.
Right.
That's mind-boggling.
Mm-hmm.
It's just inexcusable by Honda. Put the switches up here so you can access the doors as well, right?
Right.
We have USBs up here, a USB-A.
Yep, I love them. Use them all
We
the time.
also have a 115 volt up front, where the Kia had it in the middle and the rear.
Oh, okay.
So this has it, it's just in an odd place. I think the benefit of having it here is you can plug in your DVD player and then throw in the HDMI cable somewhere in here.
Okay.
So you can, play DVDs through that screen. We haven't used this screen because our kids get car
Car
sick.
sick, yeah.
No digital rear mirror, no 360 camera here. We still have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto wireless.
Love it.
And it's great. We really enjoy it. The Kia has that as well. The Kia has bigger screens, more up-to-date technology in those screens, better software. But we feel more comfortable in here. We also have this. This is all closed off in the Kia. Here we have all this
Like a
extra
passway.
storage.
Yes.
Yeah, we have the secret passway under here for
It's
extra
nice.
things.
To hold things,
Hold things. People can put
Purses.
purses, trash cans,
Trash cans, there you go. Tissue boxes.
tissue boxes, whatever it is.
Yeah, the baby bag. Like, there's just a lot of space.
You can put all sorts of stuff
Snack
down
bag,
there.
since it doesn't get sunny over there.
Yeah, so wireless chargers back here. In the Kia, it's like up here. I'm gonna turn this boat around. But the brakes here, like, I would not have made that short of a stop in the Kia.
No, it would have been very
And
jarring.
if we did, we probably both would have been car sick.
Oh,
All right, so we're
Can you
gonna
drive through this neighborhood?
Yeah, I'll
I've
just
never been through
back
this
out.
neighborhood. Oh.
I'll just pull into this driveway
Oh, okay.
and then back out. And you guys will get to see how bad a quality this backup camera is.
Oh my word.
It's bad. I mean, we just saw the 360 camera and how high resolution. Like, this is bad. It looks like I'm looking at underwater footage. It's really murky. But something you like about this vehicle, the Kia has it too, is parking sensors,
Yes.
a blind spot monitor.
Love that.
We'll probably never buy another vehicle without blind spot monitor, just because I can live with it, but it gives you a ton of safety. Like,
I just feel
feeling.
secure.
Yeah.
More secure.
Yeah.
All right, Bubba's, we're moving.
So we might have to end this video here because Abe is on the precipice. So, all right, Cass, I'm going to hit you with a question here.
Okay.
37 miles per gallon Carnival
Yeah.
or 18 miles per gallon V6 Odyssey?
Well, I think because of where we live, I'd rather have the smooth driving and the easy braking, and, like, I can change lanes pretty quickly, and things like that are important, at least where we live, because we don't really have a drive culture. We have so many visitors. So for that, yes. If I was still living out, like, if I lived in, like, Nebraska City or something, like a cute little town, I probably wouldn't need all of that. I don't know. I think because we live in somewhat of a busy city.
Since we live in a busy city, you're saying this vehicle makes you feel safer because it's so much more confident in its handling and braking.
It's just,
It feels like a sedan.
It feels
like,
safer.
It feels safe. Like, it does what you ask it to. It never gets upset.
Yeah. And I need that as a mom, right? Of 5 kids
100%.
in the back.
And I will say as well, the front end here, we can't really see it, but I enjoy the front end here. Feels so much shorter. So this vehicle feels easier to park. The Carnival, I don't know, I haven't looked at the spec sheet, but the Carnival feels like a longer vehicle, where this just feels a lot more easier to park, even though we don't have that 360 camera.
Right.
Right. Go ahead.
It does stink that we have to go to the
gas station.
It is. All the time.
And spend twice as much on gas.
Yes, that's hard.
We're spending twice as much on gas, but you know what? This vehicle feels twice as
But it makes me feel more secure.
Twice as secure.
Because of the ability,
No.
to
I don't know if all Carnivals are like that.
Right.
I don't know if it's just that specific model, or if it's the V6s might feel better. I don't know. All I know is the one I've driven, the hybrid, great fuel economy.
Yeah. great.
It is smooth in a straight line, but it handles...
Very luxurious in the inside with the tech.
Oh yeah, the tech's great. It's comfortable. They're both very comfortable.
Yeah, they're pretty, yeah. They're both pretty
but the braking, the handling here are just like on a refinement level that feels several generations removed from that Carnival. The Carnival feels like, it just doesn't feel executed as well as I know Kia can, because I'm not just trying to bury the Carnival. Like, there are things I really like about it, especially the fuel economy. But we drove the Kia EV9, fully electric, 3-row SUV. Loved the thing. That thing is a home run. Probably the best EV, no, not probably, the best EV that I drove in 2024 was the Kia EV9.
Wow.
And everything about it felt like it was very, very honed in, refined, well engineered. And the Carnival just doesn't give me anywhere close to that same luxury and solidity that the EV9 does.
Right.
So if we were looking at a Kia, maybe we would get an EV9 over the Carnival. But yeah, something that I have no problem getting the brake here. I would have probably just blown through that yellow in the Carnival because I don't trust the brakes on it.
Don't want to get whiplash.
Yeah.
That might be a little harsh.
It wouldn't be whiplash. It would be nausea. Because I can't predict like what the brakes are doing. So we're going to end it there. We like both minivans. It just depends on what you prioritize.
What are your needs? Yeah.
If you don't need to ever drive with any sort of hustle, get the Carnival Hybrid.
Oh yeah.
If you're taking turns slow, if you don't need to maneuver quick or have the world's best braking, and you prioritize fuel economy and tech, get the Carnival. If you prioritize luxury, build quality, I'm not saying that, I should say maybe just like refinement. If you prioritize refinement, get this vehicle. All right. There's very few things that this, oh, that's a nice Ferrari. Very few things that this Honda is falling short on. The technology is glaring, but it's like, yeah, it still has the essentials, like your parking sensors, the backup camera, your cabin watch.
My, like, when people are in blind spot monitor, I love that.
So
that's great.
It's not quite there compared to the Kia in terms of tech, but
it's a good car regardless.
This is the best minivan on the market still. Yeah. It's been around 2016, 2017, something like that.
Oh, wow.
In this generation, they keep making it better, more refined. And it feels like it. Like, we like this better than the Sienna for a lot of different reasons. It's more spacious than the Sienna.
Yes.
Yeah, the Sienna just, it doesn't feel as good as this either overall. The refinement is luxury quality, or old school luxury, where the other ones feel a bit mainstream. I'll just say that. All right, so we're going to end it there. We believe the Honda Odyssey has edged out the Carnival, but again, it all depends on what your needs and wants are. All right, so Cass, any final words?
Thank you, Honda.
Thanks, Honda, for the long term.
And thanks, Kia, for the Carnival.
Yeah, thanks, Kia, for the Carnival.
Yeah.
Thanks, Honda, for the long-term loaner that we've had with this.
It's been a dream.
Yeah, I wish we had more bad things to say about the Odyssey. But the Kia has so much cool tech that this doesn't have that,
cool.
You know, but just small things like the vent placements for the driver
it means a lot.
It goes a long ways for hot-ass Florida.
Yeah.
So, all right. Thanks, Cass. Thanks, Abe. There's a Sorrento. It looks just like the Carnival up front. But anyways, thanks, Cass. Thanks, Abe. And we'll see you guys in the comments.
Yeah.
Feel free to share your opinions. I know you guys always do. And if you enjoyed today's content, hit the like button and subscribe for more minivans. We love minivans.
Yeah.
We're still in minivan time of our life.
Yeah, minivan season.
Minivan season for a long time, I think. But all right, take care. Peace.